So we've got the Wellhouse Terrier here, which we're going to do the handover with you today. You've got, just on the passenger side, filler cap, direct fill, no cap, just put the nozzle straight in, diesel obviously, straight into that system on there. There's no bonnet release on these, so you have an ignition key. Put the ignition key, turn it to the 1 position first of all, you hear a click from the bonnet, turn it to position 2, and then you should be able to raise the bonnet straight up. Over on the right hand side, you've got your radiator reservoir. If you ever need to jump start the vehicle, then positive goes onto there and the negative goes down onto the engine lift bracket, just behind the dipstick. You've got your power steering, your fresh water and your brake fluid reservoirs just there as well. So when you open up the driver's door, inside the driver's door well, you've got your vehicle toolkit, and then over on the left hand side you've got your water fill point. So you use a hose pipe into there and that fills up onto the fresh water tank. Underneath the skirt sills you've got 2 tank points. So the blue tap at the front behind the front wheels is the fresh water drain point, and then there's a similar grey one at the back for the wastewater, what goes down the plug holes in the sink. When you're connecting to the main supply, you should always connect to the side of the van first of all. So lift it up and push in like so, and then follow the cable through and connect to your sight post. When we open up tailgate at the back, we've got our awning handle just here, which we'll talk about later on. We've got some accessories that have been left by the previous owner, which include the Keeler airway awning and some silver screens, as well as the ladder for the bunk beds. On the right hand side, you've got a 6 kg gas cylinder that's in there. To turn the gas on and off, there's a brass fitting on top, open and close by turning it clockwise and anti-clockwise respectively. That feeds through to a regulator, which goes through to some isolation points that are in the van. This access hatch has been sealed off to comply with new regulations, so you can't unscrew this to get into it. Also, just be in front, you can just make it out on the camera just there, but you've got this grey box, and sticking into the top of that is a key, so you're all safe underneath just by the speaker. With the awning, there's a T-piece that goes up into the slot. Turn the awning out and then wind it out accordingly. Hold it nice and firmly so that it goes up into position like so. That's good. Wind it out to about this distance so that you can bring the legs down. So take the legs from the 90-degree angle at the end and then drop each leg down in turn and then extend out. Continue winding the awning out and walking the legs out at the same time. These are sunshades. In wet or windy conditions, you need to put them away, which is why we're not going to wind this one out fully, because it has issues of started to rain with us here. To put it away, legs up, keep this at the 90-degree point and just rest the leg in, and then as you squeeze in round, it goes back in, clicks into position. Same on the other side. So keep this at the elbow at 90 degrees in, and then clip in from there, and it sets it back in, and then begin to wind the awning back in. So your T back up into the slot and wind the other way. Sliding door. At the base of the passenger seat, you've got your electric switch for the step. So that extends out. The step will retract on ignition. So the vehicle started up, it draws the step back in. When we get inside the Terrier, over on the back wall, you've got a series of 12-volt switches. Switch up on the top left-hand side is your 12-volt master. And if you press the voltmeter one, it'll give you an indication as to how healthy your battery is. You've then got an auxiliary switch, which is usually tied into any 12-volt sockets that are on the van. Separate switch for the water pump, which you would use on demand, and then a couple of 12-volt switches for the various LED lamps that are around inside the van. They can be separately controlled by some switches down there as well. So you've got these under kitchen lights as well. So when you go into the little locker that's next to the grille, you will see your mains RCD boxes. All of these switches are up, indicating that we've got a main supply coming in. If you want to test the main supply, put the main switches down and then bring down the separate switch, push it up, do a test. It should trip out, and that indicates how healthy your main supply is coming into the van. And then back across, that will engage your mains sockets and your battery charger as well. Plastic cover which comes away, and then you've got a menu down the side which will tell you which fuses you've got, and these are all for the interior operation of the van. So we've already turned the gas on in the back of the vehicle. You have the option of using these two isolator valves, one for the grille and one for the hob. In the position that they are at the moment, the gas supply is running through. If you turn them through 90 degrees, like we've done with that one, that stops the gas supply from getting through to that specific appliance. You've got the gas hob just here. The recommendation is, if you are cooking in the vehicle, is that you have the elevating roof up, turn the gas valve around, and then use the piezo igniter. There is no isolation on the lids, so if you do bring the lid down and the flames are lit, you will cause the glass to shatter. So make sure that the burners are off, make sure that the head units have cooled sufficiently before you fold the lid down. With the water pump next door, with the pump on, you should be able to draw water straight through, just a cold water feed. I would always recommend that the pump is used on demand. So if you're going out for the day or sleeping in the van at night, turn the pump switch back off again. So for the gas operation of the grill, turn the knob anti-clockwise through 90 degrees, press in on your piezo igniter, you should hear a click and you'll see the gas has lit. Also fitted in this Wellhouse, you have a Pushback diesel heating system. So this is feeding directly from the onboard fuel tank. To turn it on, press and hold in on that button briefly for a couple of seconds. The temperature gauge that's shown on here is the current interior temperature. You can change the interior temperature, the heat output, by increasing on this arrow or decreasing on the arrow symbol to bring it back down to the desired output. If you just want to recirculate air within the van, turn the heating system off, and you can just use it as a circulation fan on its own. So the 12-volt fridge on this model is hardwired onto the leisure battery. So if the master switch on the control panel has been turned on, all you need to do then is physically turn the thermostat at the back around to your desired setting. If you turn it all the way back to the 12 o'clock position at the top, it will switch off the 12-volt supply within the unit. With the roof mechanism, you've got a safety strap which you just put your thumb on to pull apart, and then if you turn these clips through 180 degrees and fold it flash, there is a little magnet up into the roof lining, and it should then remove the clip from the main casing. Repeat the same with the other side, so safety clip off, turn it through and push it out, and then it's a firm press up onto the roof. And that causes the roof to rise and then separately extend the bed up. To bring the roof back down, you need to separately bring down the main bed. Take hold of the straps. As you're drawing it down, there are tension ribs in each side. So with the sliding door open to stop the fabric from billowing, make sure those tension ribs are folded in, and then you should be able to bring the roof all the way down. And then when you come back inside, you should be able to see the reverse of what we did to open it. So turn the clutch back through 180 degrees and put your safety strap on. The bed mechanism on this is designed to slide up and down the tracks. To secure the bed into position, bring it forward so that you can push down on the paddle levers and they will lock into position. To release them, pull back on the black tab and that should let it go clear, and you can then slide it backwards and forwards. You'll need to have the bed forward to a position that you can obviously drop the backrest down as well. I'm just going to set it to a mid position now. To bring the bed up, put your hand towards the back of the seat swab, pull it forward and then tip the first section over. There's a release lever on the far side. Let that section drop down and push down into position, and then you should just be able to push the back deck straight down, and if you've got it in the right position, you should be able to close the tailgate door as well. When you're coming to put the bed away, then pull up on the black handle, lift the whole mechanism all the way up. You can separately push up the back deck and then fold the cushion back into position and lock it off. So that concludes our handover for the Wellhouse Terrier. As always, we're always available to contact via phone or by email. Sincerely hope this van's going to give you lots of miles and lots of smiles. On behalf of Handover Camper Vans, thank you very much for watching.